Have I played the Stanley Parable before? Yes, I have. Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable Ultimate Edition. Ultimate Edition. If you want to see the original Stanley Parable, it's too damn bad. You can't go digging in my videos. It's not like it's not there, but you're here. So don't go there. Stay here until the bitter end. Because this is the full game, all in one video, I think. Please enter the current time. Can't get this from my computer. Can't steal my data. Okay, so this is Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. And what this adds is not only more to the game, but also it's the game. And begin! Ever the end is never the end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, the memories.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Yes.
Employee number 427's job was simple.
Yes.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Yes.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
All right, the end. Thank you, everybody.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Oh.
Something he would never quite forget.
What?
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Fascinating.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I'm sure he did. I want someone to do a comparison, because even though this game has, like, I think, double the content and new stuff that was not in the first game, I want someone to compare my reactions to some of the stuff that is the same, because at this point, I've forgotten primarily everything. What was it? I hear you. Anyway, I wanted the music down so I can hear the narrator a bit better. Resume! Hi. Well, here I am again. I hate Mondays. Well, that's a cliche. Recommendations from the Oversight Committee. I can't read that. 427. I mean, I could read that, but it's not really the point now, is it?
All of his co-workers were gone. What
Hey.
did it mean?
Hi.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, I doubt that, but I'll go, I guess. If I have
No matter
to.
how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I cannot find a trace of my coworkers. Ooh. What did number one dad? Well, good for you then. Okay. I like, God, you know what? It's funny. I did not draw the inspiration for the mugs from this. No. I mean, there is a whole section in Space with Markiplier about the narrator, and that is heavily inspired by this. But the mugs, I kind of forgot that that was a thing in here too. I mean, I just like mugs with words on them. Well, this is all probably fine. How the mighty have fallen. Who farted? It really does have a lot of mugs. I swear I didn't.
Stanley went around
God.
touching every little thing in the office,
Yes.
but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Says you, nerd. Username, access. I can't read that. Okay. Fuel. Thought it said something different. Okay. Apparently I can type on this. I can interact with you through the wall! Bug! Developer, I found a bug! What? What? I'm still clicking? Never mind. I didn't find a bug. I didn't find a bug at all. Why am I clicking? Why is this clicking? Why am I clicking? Huh. What's going on back there? 4B3?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ordinarily, I would be the antithesis of whatever you want me to be, and my first instinct in my prior life was to go the opposite direction. But this time, knowing how you little shits never follow directions, and being on the other side of this argument and knowing how frustrating it could be, even though I have all this amazing fun stuff planned right over there, and you would just be like, no, I want to go this way. When even if I didn't plan for that eventuality, and maybe I did plan for it, and I put something fun over there, knowing that you would counter my initial assessment, you will not get the best of me, and I will go left. Honestly, this is probably the rarer of the 2 doors. Maybe there's something special if you go through it for the first time. Although I don't really remember.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What to do about 432? Don't tell 432 about the meeting. I'm 427, I'm not 423, so that's definitely not me. This box is too small. I'm sure that there's tons of Easter eggs that you'll have to play through on your own. But for now, I'm gonna keep going. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Oh, hey, broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I mean, there's a broom in the broom closet, there's that, so to be perfectly honest, I think saying that nothing is here is kind of
There was nothing
wrong.
here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
No reason at all, actually. Except this broom.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least
Baffling?
if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
What could FA stand for? Fun assessment? Frantically aspirating?
Are you really still in the broom closet?
I am,
Standing
yes.
around doing nothing?
Yes.
Why?
I don't
Please
know.
offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I mean, if we're going to be completely honest with ourselves, it's because you are saying new lines the longer that I'm in here, and I just want to hear the sweet sounds of your voice.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
But also, if you think about it, it's the only door that actually opened from all the other doors that I tried to open that did not open.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
I don't think so. You all are very proud of me to find this super secret broom closet ending.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Okay,
he
well.
probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Well, I mean, that's not the worst thing that could happen. I suppose so. Maybe.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
Oh!
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and
Yes.
you collapsed on the keyboard.
Yes.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species.
Are you saying that you're not
Please
human?
remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
You said comedy, not
When
commentary.
you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Okay, but what if I don't? I'm dead and there's nobody around because I didn't have friends nor family. I am completely alone and isolated. What are you gonna do about that, big guy? Who happens to be either an alien or some machine intelligence? I mean, I'm a patient man. I can wait here a very long time. I think, in fact, maybe in the past I did wait here a very long time. Maybe this is some sort of time loop and I've already seen so many of these things before. Nah.
Ah, second player. Good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Okay. But what if there is something in here? Alright, fine. I'll leave. I know that I was probably on the cusp of a secret.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I will do exactly as you say. Because once again, this is the path that people really probably don't do. Because they are averse to authority. Wow. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Okay. Extreme bathrooms. Hello? 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 Anybody got a broom closet?
Stepping into his manager's office,
Yes.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Did you say dark?
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845. Well, I can't possibly have known that, so I guess I'll leave. Lot of books.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Yes. I couldn't. Why does my reticle appear just for the. It's when I get near to the thing.
2845.
2845. I hear you loud and clear. Let me out! Let me out! Alright, 2845, huh?
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself.
What
and Stanley
door?
got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Whoa! Whoa! Look at that! Wow. Alright. I got flashlight, buddy? I don't. Whoa. I hope. Okay. Ooh. Ah. Well, alright then. Loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
I always feel like
It was a
that.
stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Ow.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Ooh! Ah, free will! Ah, it hurts! Or it's heartburn! Or a heart attack! Either way, what is with this? I hate you. I don't like you. Why are you like this? Clearly you're something, or else it would be something not the—
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Wow. Escape. No thanks. Wow. Button. Button! Button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Whoa, you right.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to
What
himself.
horrible secret did this...
the strength to find out.
I don't know, I guess I'm... Anyway. So you said these were television screens. Can I play Elden Ring in here? Is that something I can do? Whoa-boom.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Whoa.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What was 582? Something was weird about 528. 528. Well, no one's here, so I guess it's fine. They're all free. No harm, no foul, I suppose, if you really think about it. Which I'm not. I never think about anything. What was I, 287? 278? I don't remember. Whoa.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Yeah.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
What are the odds?
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
No
that his
way.
emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I like this box. Yes. No. Whatever you said. I agree.
No. He refused to believe it.
Yeah.
He couldn't accept it.
No.
His own life in someone else's control.
Employee pirate?
Never.
What?
It was unthinkable.
Why?
Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
No.
Had he
Yes.
truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes. No? Yes. Is this... Hello? Hi.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
I'm deciding that...
He would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I will dismantle the controls once and for all! Yes, I can't see much. It's kind of dark. 1, 2. Hello? Do I go up there? I can't really go up there, can I? Oh, yeah, no, it's so dark. I can't see. No. How do I do... Facility power! I see. I see. Hello? Mind control. Idle. Awaiting input. It's all about the illusion of choice.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
You right. Yeah, you right.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls.
I thought I needed to turn it on to break
You
it.
enslaved all these years. You
No,
go and
I
you try
thought-
to take control of the machine for yourself.
No!
Is that what you wanted? Control?
No, I thought I needed to turn it off to, like,
Stanley,
break it or
I
something.
applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave.
Oh, I'm
If you
sorry.
want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
I
I'm afraid you
wasn't
don't have nearly the power
trying
you think you
to.
do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes.
I thought...
Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
I thought...
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are.
No, I'm trying to justify the fact that I didn't even want to do it in the first place.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I just hate to see it go.
I really didn't even mean to do this.
With on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
I'm trying.
You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
Okay, thank you.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Yes, but also I was really trying to...
Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley?
I didn't know.
That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
Right.
To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Okay.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
I'm
That's
looking.
30 seconds you have left to struggle.
Okay.
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
I mean, technically, that is kind of an ending.
To your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
Now that you finally stopped talking, I just wanted to say that I wanted to turn it off. That was actually my objective. I just assumed that I needed to turn it on before I turned it off. That was kind of the whole thing, and you were pretty ambiguous about it, so all of your evil villain speech was awfully misplaced in comparison to what I actually wanted to do, which was turn the whole thing off in the first place. But anyway, I'm not bitter.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it
Stanley
mean?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe I missed a memo. Maybe I missed a bit of a memo.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
No.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Okay. That was fun. I really like that.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Turlet. I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Soy, that's a lovely purse. Say that's a lovely purse. Mm-hmm. Ooh, door! Hey! Oh! Anyway. I was kind of hoping to go... Ooh. Hello! Okay. Really now? Hey! Oh! Ah! Looks like I have a robot eye. No, it's gone. Yes. Did he say all together now? Ow. Feeling sick now in my gut. I cannot feel my own butt. I want to go out, buy some smut, and I am stuck in a rut. I wish I wasn't where I nut. Okay, I can't remember if there was actually something there or not in a previous version. But alas, I must continue. I'm sweaty. 2845.
Incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Amazing.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Wow. Wow.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided...
Boop. That's what I meant to do from the very beginning.
Blackness.
Oh.
And a rising chill of uncertainty.
I don't know, feels good, man.
Was it over? Yes! He had won!
Oh!
He had defeated the machine! Unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Yeah!
Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I did. All me, baby. 100% me.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, come on. I'm not happy. Come on. Well, there you have it, everybody. The Stanley Parable. Thank you so much for joining. Whoa.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it mean? Hank input received. Did I miss a computer with that? I see input received. New content!
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know. What does it mean? Hello. Ooh, hey. Cool. I like new content.
Hello, and thank you for playing The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, The Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
I'm delighted.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Yeah. Me also as well. Well, where do I start?
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Me also. Also, I forgot it was 2013. That's how long ago this was. Good God.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Me too.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious.
Well,
it's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
I'm trying. Why don't you know what the content is? I thought you... Oh.
All right. All right, let's see. It's... the jump circle?
Ooh. I get jump? Whoa! Damn, this is a good workout. I can't jump anymore.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Yeah! Definitely. I mean, that was pretty cool, I guess. Oh.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
Okay.
Yes. I knew there had to be something else.
Okay.
Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Me too. Whoa. Pit of Doom, I like that. Is it gonna break on? Nope. Oh.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
Okay.
If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks, just you and me having a great time together like always.
Okay.
What do you say, friend?
All right. Cool. I'm down with that. Oh. Narrator! Narrator, do you...
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, you know what? You opened a vent for me, so I really appreciate that. How you doing? What do you got for me? Something cool?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Okay, cool. Wow.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
No way. I actually kind of like the Memory Zone. That sounds pretty cool.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
I mean, not really a waste. I wouldn't say that 2013 was peak year for gaming, but I mean, it was pretty good. I'm loving this. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Oh. Oh. That's very nice. Oh, okay. Well, you didn't. Oh. Okay, well, this is all very nice. I like it. This is lovely. Oh, don't cry because it's over. Cry because it happened. Oh, that's very nice. Very lovely. Oh. Oh, don't play for 5 years? I think I actually got that one. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. I bet. Wow. Nominee. Ooh. Creator surprisingly down to earth. I love fake newspapers. That's one of my favorite things. Oh, it's good. Good stuff. Good stuff, narrator. Whoa. In loving memory of little Stanley. Oh. Oh, you're not gonna let me sit on that bench? Oh my God, this is so nice.
Is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
Well,
it was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing.
what?
It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Well, I mean, that's all right, isn't it? It's not the worst thing in the world if you think about it. I like elevators. I literally just spent like 30 minutes in an elevator just a little bit ago, and I had the time of my life. Minecraft. Nice dirt house. Was that in the game? I don't even remember. Oh. Huh? Oh. Hi. Who are you? On the right. Oh, wow. What's down here? Ooh. Memory zone maintenance. Okay. I'm not gonna pry. I'm not here to break your memory lane. This is all very nice. Lovely. People play games because of what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything. Oh, good.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Okay. I mean, you make a fair argument there, buddy. Repeatable code. Oh, that's very nice. Ooh. Oh, the serious room. I want to go to the serious room. I want to go to the serious room. Wait, didn't I hear a door open? Can I not go to the serious room? I've lost my ability to jump.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
I don't know. Ooh.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
Huh.
I haven't looked at these in years.
No.
I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Possibly. Who knows? Uh-oh.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I mean, you right or you wrong, I'm not 100% sure. But also, that review was made on my birthday, so there you go. That's what you get. It wasn't me, by the way. I didn't leave that review. Kind of stormy in here.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
There was a whole...
This is actually quite shocking for me.
There was a while there where I couldn't
well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't.
What? Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
Yeah.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Well, I leave no comment. Ooh.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay. Can I jump? I don't need to. Skip. Hey.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime.
Hey!
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
Oh, cool!
Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations.
It wasn't.
Not that, of course, you need a description of
it. It really
but if I
wasn't.
had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you?
Yeah.
But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room.
I read...
Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again.
I read a Junji Ito about this.
I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine.
I don't know.
I have no idea who they are.
I don't either.
It doesn't really matter, but here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury. Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Hi.
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
Maybe not!
Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
Okay!
Was I scared of that all along?
I don't know!
Yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time.
Oh, maybe.
When I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us. I'm suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying.
Right.
I can tell that I am becoming less and less real.
Yep.
Yet to speak to you now, I am alive.
Wow.
I am truly and completely here.
Great.
I am a... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome.
Hey, hello.
I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
Yes.
Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart.
Good.
It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously.
Wow.
I was consumed by it.
Great.
I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will
Yes.
that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt free.
Good.
I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines.
There
and that
you
each
go.
of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It
Beautiful.
was incredible.
Good.
The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite.
Oh.
For the longest time, this was my experience.
That's good.
And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence.
Okay.
I wish you to feel afraid as I do.
Oh,
that
cool.
perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Oh, okay. We finally learned to enjoy the quiet, I suppose. Anyway. Bibbidi bobbidi boop. I think I'm detecting that unending darkness that you were talking about. The unequivocal fear of nothingness embracing me. Some yada yada baloney like that. Okay. Oh. Oh. All right. Narrator, did you die? Hello, the narrator has died and slumped over on their keyboard. If any other ethereal being from another dimension can just take over, that'd be great.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse.
Right.
They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something.
Hello? Water? Water. Once the bringer of life, but now the bringer of death.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Okay. It's getting a little wet back there. Seems to be a bit of a leak happening. Oh. Huh. Narrator? You alright, buddy? Yo, you okay? Can I just mention you wanted me to push this button in the first place? Oh. Buddy? Oh, whoa! Hey, look at that! That's lovely. Oh. Damn, I feel bad though. Oh God. Oh, that's not nearly as good. Oh my God. Oh. Oh, very quiet. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Oh, am I? Oh. Hey! Freedom! Uh-oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. How long have I been in that room? This might be one of the most horrifying depictions of an eternity of torment I've ever really seen. And speaking of horrifying depictions of eternal torment, here I am.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Hi!
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That's why I always say, like, I would never, ever want to live forever. New content! Whoa! Let's go, baby!
You noticed my sign?
I did.
Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Oh boy. What? What is it? What do you have, buddy? Good to hear from you again. Did you lose yourself in the eternity?
Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable
and
about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
I mean,
the original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
You right.
Forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Ah, the end is never the end again.
You see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there.
You
it's
right.
It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
You right. You right. You so right. Noom. Time to wake up. Ooh. Never underestimate a coffee enjoyer who left their cup by a leather sofa that faces a blurry room. Oh, but you right. You right. I would never underestimate Never in a million years. Meeting at 2 p.m. Genius! Stanley can throw axes. Stanley gets boons from Good's artistic intimate wives. Free roam mode, dress up mode, microdress, proper gameplay, nude Stanley. Fuel canisters. Oh my god, yes! Yes! They're back. 2 doors. I love this so much. I love this. Don't talk to me before I've had my— I love the mugs. God, I swear. I didn't get the idea for the mugs from space from this, but God, I love it. Oh, I love it! I love it so much. I love everything about this.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
You right. You are the sequel. Oh, come on now. Come on now. Ooh. New feature. New content. New content! Oh, I thought it was actually going to be that, but it was not that. This is delightful. I can smell the money. I can smell the money. Ooh, whoa!
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Oh, wow. Oh, is that Stanley? Ooh. Name. Hear your name. Hear your name in the game. Oh my god, yes! The button that says the name of the—
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
That is wonderful! That is wonderful. How do you do it? How do you do it?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
Jim!
Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Jim!
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim.
Jim!
Sleeping and waking as Jim.
Jim!
Falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim.
Jim!
Seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim.
Jim!
And as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Jim!
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Jim!
If so,
Back on the
then
scene!
please step forward and press the button.
Jim!
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second
Jim.
time. If this were
Jim.
the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim! Why are you stuck in a button?
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
No.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim! I'll find you, Jim! Cousin Jim! I want to press the Jim button some more. I really want to press the Jim button some more.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Yeah. The button that says the name of the jump circle, infinite hole. Infinite hole. Wow. Merge! This is incredible. The reassurance bucket. The bucket of reassurance. Do I get to feel validated as a creator?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it.
Right.
Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be?
Yeah.
Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Yes.
Can you feel it?
Yes.
The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
Yes.
And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Thank you. I do enjoy a good bucket. Can I press the button that says Jim?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I have no idea. 344. 340.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one.
I didn't know that I was
think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I don't know. That's funny.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Okay. Thank you for my input.
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Yes, I agree. The jump circle!
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
Let's...
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
No jumps remaining. Okay, alright, that's fair enough. I get it. It's fine. New free new and easy achievement. Well, I like the sound of that, but... Settings World Champion! That's new. Ah. Okay. Hey. Settings. World Champion. Presentation. What do you mean? Settings World Champion. Settings World... Where? Ah! Fine, whatever. I'm assuming that there is some kind of settings secret there, but I'm not patient enough to discover it. Or obstinate enough to break my way through it. What am I looking at? Epilogue. Oh.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it will go at the end of the... well, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, the ending that you heard Jim. I heard Jim in the game. I did hear Jim in the game. That's different. All right. Whatever you say, man. I could do the collectibles. Merchandising is important. Can you find them? I don't know. Can I? Hello?
Whoa. Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Okay, 1 of 6. Oh. I guess I'm done.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Yeah, tragic. We hate that. I hate it most of all. Anyone who likes it is clearly an idiot. Okay. Achievement. Everyone knows how big I am about achievements. Pull the lever, receive your achievement, no more steps, it just works. Hey!
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Yes.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Done.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Gamers! Gamers! Whatever. It's fine. Not a big deal. It's fine. I guess there's no achievement to be had here, so I guess I'll just move on. Thank you for wasting everybody's time, including my own, which is obviously the most important time.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I don't know. Have we been in here? This was the balloons. Who is the lady? That's my question is there. Who is the lady? What about that intimate scene with the wife? Holy moly! I do love Infinite Hole. Oh. Ah. A wormhole, perhaps? Ooh. Ah. Oh. Ooh. Alright. Can I go in this infinite hole? Hole of infinity?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay. I don't need to tell me twice. Here I go!
You see, isn't it wonderful?
Yeah.
One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why would that be? Are you telling me this whole lane is infinite as you suggest it to be? Are you a fraud?
I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Ow. Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
It was your idea.
The hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Maybe you made the problem.
Look, Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I mean every word of
Let's
it!
put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole mostly infinite.
It wasn't nearly
If that works
mostly
for you,
infinite.
then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Okay. I do like the hole, though. If you think about this hole, it's kind of representative of this bucket. Infinite possibilities and calmness that resides from it. Yes, that's a word. Don't question me. Who threw cigarettes into this hole? What kind of maniac would litter in this hole? Fine.
Great. Now, I'm very excited. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you.
You don't know that there's
The
a problem at all.
is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
It did.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean,
Yeah.
admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite.
Huh.
Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing.
Right.
What's going on here?
What is going
Stanley,
on here?
I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
I like that
There
idea.
it is.
Oh.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch.
It really doesn't.
Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Okay. Hey. Hey.
Is the,
Give me a
teleport
jump.
button not working?
Give me a jump!
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Huh.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this.
Yeah.
I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I'll be here. It's a nice hole. Oh. Did anyone hear any of the ethereal rumbling from beyond the beyond? Holy shit. Look at this hole. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that there was so much more to you, hole. You had depths, unlike anyone could ever imagine. Deeper, more profound, more elegant than anything I could have ever hoped for. I love you, hole. Just like I've loved every hole I've ever encountered, but more. Infinitely more. Change my perspective. Whoa! Oh, there he is! Ooh! Damn! Oh, God! Look at that hole! Ugh! Perception! This is the greatest hole that anyone's ever made in the entirety of forever. Ooh. What am I? I'm upside down. That's what I... Oh my god. Ooh.
Stanley? Stanley?
Ooh.
Stanley!
Huh?
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there.
What happened?
Drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley.
I thought you
because
left.
This hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You
Okay.
don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
Dude, I was
From the
all
looks of
about that
things,
hole.
You and I will have many, many years here in this hole.
I
and
was
I'm looking forward to all
so
of them.
into that hole.
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back.
I was so all about that hole. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, let me back in. Let me back in, baby. Come on, baby. Oh. Going back to the hole.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm gonna go find the hole, thank you. It was a really good hole. No, please, no! Fine. I think I remember there being some kind of area that I had not been before. And I'm gonna find it. And I'm gonna go inside of it. And then I'm gonna see it. And everything that it wants me to be. Ooh, what is this? Exit? Wasn't there another thing that I didn't see before? This map, jump circle. I guess that's it. Alright, well, this is really great. This is gonna be a great sequel once it comes out. I'm really proud of us and what we've accomplished here. How much money do I get out of the sale of this?
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Well,
Ready to move on now?
I wanted to see more hole, but whatever. Would have loved to have more hole. If I could go back through the hole, it'd be great, but whatever.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
Yeah,
yes, I
most
know
of
it's
them.
not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Okay.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Give me Jim in the hole. Give me Jim in hole. Hole and Jim.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
I'm ready.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
Let me in the hole.
Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
No, no, it's perfect. Don't. Oh.
Okay, yes. Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Give me the hole.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
Let me in the hole.
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
That's an idea.
Would it possibly work?
No.
I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
I'm looking. Actually, this is pretty dope. I'm 100% down with that. Looks so cool. You did great! It's red like my room right now. It's the exact same red. It's actually almost insane how similar it is. It's actually kind of like you took my room that I'm in right now and... There are really a lot of parallels to this game that I'm drawing from things that I have made recently and am currently experiencing as a human being in this extreme exact moment. I'm starting to get a little worried, but this is dope as hell. Let's do this. I am ready. I am ready!
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I don't want to skip. I would never skip.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Oh.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Yes.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Okay.
Something he would never quite forget.
Okay.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. Get well someday, huh?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Not my favorite.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Hey, boop. Okay, that's the second input. That's good. Bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Alright, cool. No new content. No new content.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I do. Okay. Seems like a whole lot of nothing. You got any holes around here?
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Yeah.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
It is possible. Hey! Hi.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Ooh.
The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
Ooh.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy?
Oh
It's as
my
clear
God.
as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
Well, maybe it should have
I
it.
can really feel it now.
I mean,
it's
I
a
could-
bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here.
Okay.
It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
Makes sense
Please,
to me.
Stanley, don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
I'm not really that attached to
Hand
it.
it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
I would hand it over.
Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That
I
your
mean-
relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
Yeah,
That your
kinda.
life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Broom Closet, if you want this bucket, you can have it. I've had it for maybe a minute. You could have it.
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all.
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh.
There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, Broom Closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Okay. It's a bucket. It's just
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
Ooh.
That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
I don't know how you got that sticker under the property of Stanley sticker. That's what's more mesmerizing to me than anything.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the Broom Closet is just giving us a silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Okay, thank you. I will. Yeah, all right.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Boss, please. No elevator for me. What about the bathroom? Does it have a new poem in it? Hello.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I am and I have. I appreciate that. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Yeah, you're right about that. I'm pretty happy about where I am with this and stuff and things.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if
Were
not
it
for the
not
soothing
for this-
presence of the bucket.
The bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always.
Nah,
The bucket would. And he knew it.
I don't really
The
want
two of
the
them were
bucket.
inseparable.
I don't feel...
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
2, 8, 4, 5.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
I mean...
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Sure. Okay, almost missed you!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Kind of the worst of the options that you presented, but okay. Not really a fan of this bucket anymore. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't really a fan in the first place. I really like the hole. If you could have me have a hole... I mean, the bucket is kind of like a portable hole, but it's not really.
Plummeting towards an unknown fate.
Not really.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I could throw this bucket down a hallway and I wouldn't care less.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
You got it, baby! Maybe this bucket will guide me through the process of figuring out the self-destruct sequence.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I think this bucket thinks it's better than me.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
I don't know about that.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Smart.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Yeah, you right.
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
Or would
They
we?
high-fived in a really cool way. And the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
Fuck!
Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
No.
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this?
How could you betray me
Stanley
like
was
this?
prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Oh.
Birds. Silly birds.
Silly birds.
The control buttons became active again.
Oh. Birds. Birds.
Stanley flicked through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I'm pretty happy, actually. You know, not so bad. Not so bad. I'm gonna say that's not so bad.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Figurine Finders Committee meeting today in the meeting room. Well, you know, you're right about that. And I don't really care about the bucket, so I'm just gonna go. Mission status? Whoa. Oh. 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 Ah. Produce one plank to allow ease of access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from warehouse floor. Ooh. Construct new structurally sound bridge. Ah. That's a good plan. We need more planks. Yeah, okay. Large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs. Somewhere both red and blue. Is this some kind of game? Looks like 427. Haha, there will be a reward for finding them all. Lies. Who are you? Okay. Ah. Oh. Ah. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
What about going
to
down?
his boss's office.
What about going down? I don't even remember what's down.
I'm
Oh,
going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Call them stands. Because it's standing. Stands. Face the power of
But
my
Stanley
stand.
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Yeah. I should have brought the bucket just because I think the bucket does create more new scenarios. I think the bucket is like what actually allows things to be new. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta bring the bucket with me.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
You're right. Red and blue. Red. Markiplier! Hello?
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Alright, fine. Are you sure? Alright. Are you sure? Fine.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these.
Usually?
He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket?
No.
Indeed. Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
No.
Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Do I?
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Bucket!
Could it truly be?
Oh!
He rushed forward from room to room, passing
Bucket!
by one bucket after the next.
Bucket!
None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
My bucket.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from.
Oh, no.
The real bucket was inside of him all along.
No.
It was incredibly painful.
No.
Stanley
Can't
doubled
be.
over in agony and blacked out.
No.
This is the story of
What?
a woman named Mariella.
Who?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
What?
She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
Oh.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him.
If only.
Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work,
right,
for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything.
Of course.
And yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Oh, wow. I love that. Okay, that's great. That's really good stuff. Man, that's really good. Okay.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door.
God, that's really... I really tickled my funny bone. Backflipping all the way to work. God. Anything else?
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can
I heard that
guarantee
before.
we'd be in here for hours.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Alright, okay. Some pretty big sparks there. I don't remember that. Also, what is with the sign?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Yep.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Ooh-wee. The hole! Oh. I thought that this was... It's the hole! Oh. Alright. Fine, then. Well, this is spooky. Hey, look, a painful death!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
Yeah.
To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death?
I could jump.
This is what Stanley thought to himself.
I could jump.
And he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator.
What?
As Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Oh.
In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
No! Okay.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history was the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness? I don't know. I really
Can you
truly
see
don't
how
know.
arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Yeah. Well, wasn't there a... Oh. Ah. Interesting. Okay. There's something up there, I see. A bucket with two handles. Hi, Chair! This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Inferno bucket, a replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet, in spite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one can control a bucket. The stress bucket, an analogy. Wow. Holes? Huh. The bucket of stress, presented without commentary. Of course! Hi, Chair. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Okay.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
In a place that is both red and blue. Markiplier is here. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However our clear grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. Is that the hole? Yeah! Oh. Wait. Oh. I thought it... I'm more excited about the hole.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Yeah, what is that? Oh!
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together.
Okay.
The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Ow! Guess I'm dead. Oh.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
What?
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that latent sense of paranoia. Whoever's following me. Huh!
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms.
Yeah.
With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Yeah. I feel home. I feel big home. Huge home energy.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Goodbye.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him.
I did.
Telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
You're right. It's been a very long time since I've been down this path, and I don't quite remember what's here.
And here
Hi.
it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind.
Oh.
The bucket was wrong.
Oh.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nah.
No,
Ooh.
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay. Alright, Bucket. You don't sound as nice as why I'm falling. I don't know. Hey!
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
I can't
We'll be
wait.
different people by then.
I can't
Different
wait.
in the sense that we used to have none of them.
Yeah.
And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
You're right. I guess we can't go back. We, just can't go back. Can we? Oh, what's this? Hello. Oh. Oh. What? 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 Huh? What? Huh? Huh? What? Huh? Hello? Ooh. Narrator dialogue. I don't remember this. Lost cat. There is a reward for Jean. Okay. I don't remember any of this. I don't remember a lot of this game. What did I do?
Okay. This is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure?
I don't know, man.
I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Okay. Oh my god, okay. I already did this. Why do I have to do this again? You. Why would you have done that? Can I just say something before we get started? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up. Oh, okay, good. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock. And I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. All right, I'll get you back to the video game now. Well, thanks. But my favorite time is the current time, because I live in the moment. All right. Anyway, also, nothing's different. Everything's the same. Nothing has changed. Why would anything have changed?
This is the story of a man.
Skip. Okay, where was I?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hiya.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled.
Hey.
He'd never be alone again. Not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
No. Do not lie. If you're lying right now, stop it. Are you lying right now? Did you actually watch through the whole video to get up to this point? Don't lie. This is your checkpoint. Write in the comments, I have made it and I am not lying. Don't say what it's about. Just type in, I have made it and I am not lying. That way I know that you actually made it to this point. Thank you for being here. You earned it. But now onwards, I remember the thing that just happened, which was, we saw the horrible nightmare. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion, will cause death. Penalty for misuse, penalty for jumping off the cargo lift. Also death. I don't think...
said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
What do you need
Stanley
me
did not
to
question
do?
why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Okay. I am unthinkingly doing whatever the bucket is asking of me.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here.
Okay.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
I am obeying. Blindly. It's not really dark. Oh, that dark room. Yeah, that room's kind of dark. Oh, phone guy?
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket.
Okay.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh, I'm playing now. Hello, it's me. Ding dong. I don't know why the button is so satisfying to me. Is it doing anything? Beep. They give a button, I go press button. Can I do anything else? Hello? Whatever. Alright. The beige pages. Very good, very good. Very good. Well, this is a pretty nice place. Oh, no. I wanted to push the button some more. Damn. Alright, fine. I just my butt. I think. Oh, bucket! Okay. Press R to take me to work with you. Alright.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Well, that doesn't seem right. Press Y to take me back home with you. Oh.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well?
Maybe.
To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
I don't think I have a choice. B! B.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location.
Or a
That's
solid
it.
if it's sand.
It doesn't do anything else.
Could do sands. Don't listen to the loud man. Which one? Who? Who do you not want to listen to? Ooh, darkness.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Wasn't it you that anthropomorphized the bucket in the first place? Press H to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Well, I mean, I guess I gotta.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press V to go back home. I do.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Hey, this is getting weird now. It's just a bucket. Relive this day, same day over and over. Yep, you know what? Yeah. Whoa.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
I don't know. Why do you? You work from home?
Oh,
Whoa.
no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps, if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
I don't like what the candles and anything about it. It looks like a butt bucket. Jazz nights. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, hey.
Stanley, give me the bucket.
No!
Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
Why do you deserve it? Why do you deserve it?
Give it, or I'll...
Close my eyes. Well, I don't like it. Go back to work, Stanley. Yeah, okay. Hang on, I need to hit my computer. Shut up! I literally have to hit my computer to get it to stop buzzing. I do this like 3 times a day.
The good old bucket.
The good old
Stanley
bucket.
and the bucket.
Hey, but I did
together.
Poots. Maybe because I closed out of the game. Not that I did. Not that any of that did that thing that did you think that happened. That would never happen. I have
Stanley
something
did not
that
question
I
why or
need
how
to do.
This bucket was speaking.
Shush!
It should have alarmed it,
Shush!
of course, because buckets can't talk.
Shush,
But
Nate.
Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly
Shush,
did
Nate.
whatever the bucket asked.
Shush! Danger everywhere. Ain't that the truth? Alright. 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 Where am I? I don't really...
No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
Oh!
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
I didn't know.
What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
That's an
I
interesting...
suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
Okay.
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
Okay.
Please, step in here for a moment.
Ooh, why? I trust you! Oh.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Is this a strip club?
This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what
It's a game show.
Or is not a bucket.
It's not a strip
Okay,
club,
let's
it's a
begin.
game show. Oh!
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
That is a bucket.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
That is 100% a bucket.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I mean, sounds like a bucket to me.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
100% absolutely that's a bucket. Hey!
This is a bucket.
Yeah, I know a bucket when I see it.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
That's a tractor. Nope.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket.
I'm
To be
pretty
honest,
smart.
I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you.
Don't
Thank
worry.
you for not making me look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Hey, there's one thing I don't do is make everyone look stupider around me.
Is this a bucket?
No, that's a tractor.
Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
100%. Bucket.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Where?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Where? Not a bucket. There's nothing. No, not a bucket.
Yes.
Yes!
Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket.
Yeah,
Wait,
you got
when
it.
I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No. No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective.
Yeah, me too.
What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago, I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with.
Honestly, I don't know what you are.
Is threatening to tear our relationship apart.
No.
I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
Uh-oh. I was a bucket.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now.
Good.
It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue.
Good.
But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything, and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket.
Okay.
But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
This is another level of everything is cake, because everything actually is cake if you think about it. But don't think about it too much.
Stanley clutched the bucket.
I think
tightly
there might have
because
been
this was not the correct way to the meeting
something
room.
else
But Stanley had felt the bucket
in
calling
that
to
big
him,
warehouse.
telling him that the employee
Maybe
lounge
down
was
low.
simply the place.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
No, shush. Shush yourself. We.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend.
Yeah.
So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
Ah.
How deeply touching.
So deep and touching. Very deeply touching.
The bucket
I think that
went
there's
wrong.
something else over
Stanley took
to
door on
the
his
left.
to go back to the meeting. And so
here.
the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Down. I actually have no idea
Good,
what this
Stanley.
is.
I'm glad you found your way here.
Where?
I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Where? Oh! I hate that! I hate Big Baby! I really, really, really dislike Big Baby.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much.
Oh.
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
What about the broom closet? You got any holes? You got any holes around here? I really love a hole. I don't remember the mannequins. I don't remember the mannequins at all. I don't even remember where the Big Baby was. I don't remember where any of that.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Okay, I remember the adventure. God, I do remember the adventure line. Oh my god. This is just a goddamn delight of a game. Oh.
Now, this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Bum ba da dum ba dum ba, bum ba da dum be dum ba, bum ba da dum be da. What am I have to give up? What am I do have to give up? Whoa, portal. What am I do have to give up? What do you what is you want me to do to give up of the thing? Bum ba da bum, ba bum bee bum. Ooh. Hey. Bum ba da do, da da bee. Ooh, bum.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Ooh.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Sure.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Oh, I just don't know what. Ba ba da dum ba dum ba, bum ba da dum ba bum.
It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it.
I'm
we can't
trying!
get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
I'm
Quickly now,
trying!
The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want.
I'm trying!
Hurry and... The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
I did enjoy the Bucket Destroyer, and I was trying to. It was like the bucket was resisting. Well, such is life, you know?
All of his co-workers were gone.
I don't exactly know if there's a difference between going to the meeting room from this direction or the other direction, but I might as well test because there is another thing at the end that I have not yet done.
The bucket was wrong.
Stupid bucket.
Stanley took the door on his left to go, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Stupid bucket. Somewhere both red and blue. Red and blue.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery...
Off.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Whoa.
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face.
Don't hit me in the face.
This building did not want the bucket to leave.
Oh
Even
no!
the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket.
At least I do
To
have
be
the
trapped
bucket.
eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I?
I'll be okay.
Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Why? What do you mean? Oh. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Why are you different?
The bucket
Why?
made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker.
What?
In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Why is this different? What?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I'm very confused. I
Stanley
think
took the
I've
door on
gone
his left
everywhere
to go back to
there.
the meeting room, and so
I
the
went
two of them
down
retreated towards the
there.
maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
What happens if you go backwards from here? Anything? No, nothing. A whole lot of nothing is what happens there. I still haven't found the red and blue one.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
What if I look and then I'm like, well, no. What do you think about that, big guy? What do you think about that? Ah, well.
But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for.
If light is on, call extension 914 immediately. 914. What is with it? And what is with the yellow? Can I go back up? Oh my god, I can go back up. I did not know you could go back up. Why can't I go back up?
Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3.
What?
I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Okay, I didn't even know that I could go, but did I even do this in the original? Could you even do this in the original? Fascinating.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
I feel like this is one of those things where if I'm persistent enough, it'll do something, but I don't know for sure. Okay, there might be something there, but I would have to look up to confirm before I dedicated a half hour to pressing 3.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Mayhaps? Mayhaps not? I can go back up.
No, 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 said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel.
Is that what you think I sound like?
And the bucket said,
Is that what you think my voice is? I guess I'm gonna be pressing 3.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3. And began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion.
I'm weaving a concerto.
Like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all. Only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
I am crushed by a wave of dejection. I will return to the elevator.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's?
I don't know.
The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator.
Yeah.
He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Surely. But what if? But what if?
Said Stanley. I know what to do.
I know
how to fully express this feeling in my heart.
What?
He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over.
What?
He would elaborate fully on what the
Who
number
is that?
3 meant to him.
Who was
why
that?
He felt so alive when pressing it.
G-Man?
Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's.
Oh.
And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
All right. Now
For
you...
months he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
Yes, I am ready for the world peace, baby. Oh, wow. That's good. That's good. That's good. Very funny. Oh, good. Stanley live on stage. Stanley, the man, the process, the myth, the legend, the parable. Wow. It's a lot of hype. Doing great.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
Remember where you came from, Yorko? Is that where I came from? The dude who came up with pizza. What a dude. What a dude. Wow, what a dude. I want to know who that guy was in the distance, if that was like a G-Man reference.
There was no one here.
Oh.
Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak.
Oh.
To listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting. He was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously.
But I heard...
There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent.
I thought I heard...
And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant.
I thought I heard coughing.
They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference.
Oh, wow.
There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Why am I hearing coughing and an audience in the darkness? Whoa. Wait, what did that text just read? Lixian freeze frame that and show me what that was. Also, what is this? What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is that the mythical whiteboard ending?
Everyone is so lucky to have a...
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
The whiteboard ending. What? Dog mode? What does that mean? Wow.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I don't think that there's anything more on the left that I could possibly explore. But I have a funny feeling that there's something else on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him.
I don't know if I like dog mode.
The employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I don't know if I like dog mode. I kind of do. It's real hit or miss. I went there, got everything in there. No buckets allowed past there. Key card. I went there. You can't jump off of that. You gotta go somewhere else. Let me see again what's in here. Right, this is just the... No. Right. This is gonna be the same thing, isn't it? Damn it. I just had a thought. I just remembered. Yeah, there's something else that I forgot about. Yes. Yes. Isn't that... Yes. Yes!
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Hey!
Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous
I thought it was going to be like the hole.
Eventually, they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed.
Oh!
It really wasn't so bad down here. A bit cold, perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
Paninis.
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending.
I do like a hole in the ground.
To be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually.
Maybe.
It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Okay. Oh! It's an ending. Aye! I'm not going to turn on dog mode. I swear I will not. Okay, I think I looked up where... Let me double, triple check. I think I got where the last collectible is.
Someone you've forgotten? What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Yes.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
No,
Why,
yes.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Buckets.
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Boom! I did it.
This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
I feel pretty good.
Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
It is.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. Instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here.
We're all done.
And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay, cool. What was I doing? What? What?
Stanley, I'm sorry.
What?
But I have to put a pause on things.
What? Why?
It's those figurines.
Why?
Those Figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Inner whatness?
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Okay.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
Okay.
Just one more time.
I mean, all right, it's all good. I did like the memory zone. It was very nice. Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Oh. Wow. This is really something. Wow. It's so special. I love it. Wow. Huh. Wow. Was that always down? Down it is.
Here's where it all began.
It is where it all began.
The first collectible.
Oh.
Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find.
Nope.
Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
You don't have anything to say about me getting 7 of 6? Hello?
And here was a second Stan Loreen. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom.
Yeah.
You did that, Stanley.
I did
honest.
that.
Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them,
Yeah.
let alone 6.
Yeah.
But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
That's me mundane and remarkable.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
I actually don't. I don't remember at all. Boss's office didn't have one.
No. Under the stairs was the 4th place you found a Figanley, not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If under the stairs feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
Who are you, anyway?
Let's see. What came next? Oh, yes, we found a Figgly in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
What? Okay. Ooh.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly.
Yeah, me too.
In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Ooh.
Enjoy.
Wow. Oh, man. I love it. God, I love that. Oh my god. I really love that. Oh man. I sure did. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. That is very meaningful.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Wow. What was that sound? Oh. Yee.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors.
Yeah.
This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other.
Okay.
Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Ah. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Oh. I'm in the present.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Oh. Well, goodbye, Memory Zone. I guess Memory Zone is no more. Oh.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay. I'm down for that. Blurb.
Okay, yes. The room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
Yes.
I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Okay. I feel like a recursive memory nightmare of perpetual looping is only going to end in disaster.
Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
Me too, man. Me too. And then there was that weird noise. Starting to get a little concerned about all this nonsense.
Remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Yeah, solid room. Very solid. Extremely solid.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Me too. Also me. Well, was there anything in the boss's office? No. Okay. I don't think there was one in the boss's office. I don't recall that. The bathroom, definitely, I remember.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
You stopped me as I was getting out of my office. If you keep going perpetually backwards into forever... Oh! The hole. Could there be the hole? I can undo my jumps!
It's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Okay, I guess I can't undo my jumps, but that's sad, I guess. Cry more, no jump haver. Okay.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Classic. Classic. Classic.
And before everything else, there was your office.
Yes.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself.
Okay.
I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
Oh, okay.
I did enjoy telling his story so very much.
This is...
Okay, here we go.
What?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
What? What? Huh? Where? What? What?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
I'm a bit confused.
Stanley's bucket. The only co-worker he would ever truly need.
What do you mean you give another run? What do you mean? Also, wasn't there a way? I could have sworn there was like a way to... Oh. Shimmy shim. Shimmy shim. Yep. I'm out.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
What?
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans.
What?
And the bucket's own complicity therein.
What?
Of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger. Of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
This is way
What
too
are you
much.
talking about?
He screamed.
Yeah.
You're a bucket?
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
Brow?
No, said the bucket.
Not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket!
Is that what you think I sound like?
This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
What?
My God, Stanley.
Oh my God.
You did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come,
let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't know. Who the hell are you? Well, I've never seen that before. I feel like there was something else about all of this. Some other thing. Some other doodad or some other hibblety-wibblety. Where did the darkness lead anyway? I don't even remember. Where did it leave? Where did it lead? Whoa.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper.
Okay.
If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny!
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
Okay.
Finally, it's time to hand out surveys.
Oh.
Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
What?
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then.
Right.
So, with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the 2 doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay, well, whatever you say. Whatever you say. Why do you have why is there a fence on here?
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now?
Who knows where we'd be right
King
now?
of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley. The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Oh, do I keep going back? Am I supposed to... Oh, you want me to go all the way back to the... Okay, I see. Oh, you really want me to go all the way back to... Okay, I see. Okay, how far back am I supposed to go? How far back do you want me to go?
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
What? What? Oh!
What? We're back at the phone already. No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming.
There was supposed to be a build-up to this point.
Yeah, I'm aware of what it was.
A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit, which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Okay, thank you.
Here we go.
Oh,
You
good.
ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered
What
the
happens
door
if I go on the
left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video?
No.
I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley.
What do you mean?
I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it a delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
What? What's going on? What's going on here?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
I can no longer recall. I'm more than a little confuzzled about everything here.
As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them.
Okay. Huh. Very peculiar.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, there's got to be something else that I'm missing. This is no longer the figurine hunt because I did all that.
Stepping.
Oh. Whee! Okay. Ah. Right. Okay. Just making my way back home. Oh. Ah. Oh. Okay. Oh. Ah, you are now leaving. Am I now? Escape pod bay 760. Fun? Huh. Oh, that is the office. Oh. Huh. Okay. Oh boy. Alright. Well, this seems ominous. Is the same. Is somehow all the same. 756. This has got real SCP vibes to it. And I've kind of been preconditioned to be very afraid of endless staircases. So if you can make sure that you don't do any, like, jump scares or horror shows or things like that, I would greatly appreciate it. You know, the bucket doesn't really provide comfort and warmth and protection for stuff like that. Ugh. I'm just extremely ready for something to jump out at me. Or something to be lurking in the darkness of that room. In the beyond. Okay. Ah, escape pod launch bay 3. Warning, entering the escape pod will initiate a relay that, once triggered, cannot be disabled or paused. Both the narrator and the must be present in the escape pod. Okay. Escape I go. Oh. 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 Oh, I see. Hello. I'm here to escape from here. Good. Oh. Cutscene. Okay, that's a little weird. That's a little weird. I swear we did this joke in Heist. Got a zombie bite. Shh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you could go with if you wanted to, you know. Goodbye, bucket. I think. I don't exactly know what we escaped from. Is the bucket still there?
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Bucket is gone. Just a matter of time. Is that supposed to be a clue? Is that supposed to be some type of a clue? I set time at the beginning of this. Wait. Because I don't have the bucket anymore. I'm curious about something. It had me set the time. All right. It is 12:09. 12:09, your favorite time of day. Well, my favorite time is the present. It's all we ever have. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Now I'm curious how accurate 12:09 is. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate? It is accurate. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip up a few. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Interesting. By the way, still love the Stanley Parable 2 layout. I see. Confirm. Oh. Okay. Friends. Friends. Just a slider till 5 becomes a number 9. Oh, there we go. What else we got? Oh, interesting. I'm gonna go with this. Seems like that's what it was specified. Until you stop adjusting. Well, I'm just gonna jump. Which of the two made-up words below is most appealing to you? Occuboinkle or scrumtish? I like occuboinkle. Occuboinkle. Okay, I will not adjust that slider. Do you know what time it is right now? Yes! Is the time that it is right now the correct time? Yes! What time is? What is time anyway? Time is always running out. Yes. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yes, many things. Help. Yeah, I'll help. Will you come back to visit? Sure! I guess I'm gonna come back to visit. What time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now, the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can. And I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't have anything to do in the game. Anyway, you won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There is still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. Will we? Whoa! Epilogue? What? Oh, they did promise this in the new content in the Stanley Parable 2. I remember. Some kind of an epilogue. Many years later. Oh, just another reference to In Space with Markiplier. Huh. Right. I had almost forgotten about this vast, empty wasteland. I had almost moved on from this eternity of existence. Oh. Ah. Beautiful. It's gorgeous. In a weird way, here at the end of all things, it can be beautiful. It always was doesn't mean that it'll ever stop being beautiful, just because no one's there to observe it. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Whoa. crazy. Nuts. What the hell? Whoa. Oh, big. Big moon. I go towards the moon. This is so cool. Big sun! I go towards the sun! Damn. I'm feeling things. This game makes me feel things. Oh, no way. No way. What is that? Is that the pod? Is that the escape pod? No! Is that the escape pod? There's no way. Bucket, are you there? Did you make it out? Oh my god. Bucket. What the hell is going on with this game? I love it. Yeah, this would be the narrator. Like the old narrator. The one who spent way too long in way too many lifetimes in their own personal hell. Oh. 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 Oh my god. Oh. 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 Review. Cookie Nine's blog. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fanbase. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole, who cares? I care. Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1 like the adventure line? Instead, we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines give you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A welcome reprieve from 2027. Well, that's strange. Cat dog born. Uh-oh, did I do that? Ooh. Yee. Oops. My bad. Yee. I thought I might have moved that slider a little too close. Yeah. Stanley Parable, oh.
Jim.
Stanley Parable developers, no more spin-offs. When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise. But a disastrous critical and commercial reception to the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions, as outlined in a press release they published today. It's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want, reads the press release. We thought that we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been farther from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. Lowest aggregate review scores in video game history. Get on the green! Jim! I love it.
Stanley.
What? Oh.
Stanley.
Oh my god, I almost started crying. What the hell? It was like such a jolt through the heart to hear that name.
Stanley.
No way.
Stanley.
Wow. Hey. The whole... I really, truly, unironically loved every single edition to Stanley Parable 2. Thank you for enjoying the new content. All I want is to keep playing. Oh, man. Oh, hey, it's you again. Hello again. It's nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise. What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's just keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also really need a really dumb subtitle for the game, something loud and gaudy. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. Stanley Parable 3. Inspector Apple! Curse of the Apple! Curse of the tax disc! Dreams of the tax disc. Dreams of Apple, dreams of boyfriends, journey to boyfriends. Journey to birthday party. I like the final zone. Even if it's, that's how you do. You close off a 3 with something like the final zone. The final birthday party. Curse of the birthday party? No, the final birthday party. That's pretty ominous. I gotta admit, that's pretty good. I'm gonna go the final birthday party. I love it. The final birthday party. The Stanley Parable 3, the final birthday party. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end, and nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content recycled again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Invincible 3 much? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it. But I want you to have a say as well. Nah, man. Nah, man. Don't do it. I understand. Sometimes we're not ready to move on. That's fine. If you ever change your mind and want to start inventing new sequels, come talk to me. I'll be right here. Oh, okay, all right. If it's in that, I didn't know what you quite meant by that. Oh God, do I have to do that all over again? Oh wait, no, I know what it is. I had to restart the game. It's kind of like a dissonance of ideas here. One is like, it's a little too extreme to say like, fuck it, let go, burn it into the ground. But it's like, it's not quite my philosophy. I am all about, oh God, do I have to go through the epilogue again? I do. God damn it. Oh God, no! It's all the way back to the beginning again! When I pressed the wrong button because I wasn't sure of what you meant! Fucking kill me, I want to explode. Burst my eyes out through my chode. I want to eat my own ass! But I hope it doesn't taste like grass! I'm really trying to channel Ethan there for a little bit. Something about the finality of all this is just making me think about some things. I'm taking my own trip down memory lane of things that I may have lost. Okay, let's try this again. I'm back. Hey. Hello. Did you reconsider my idea of inventing new silly subtitles for sequels like Stanley Parable 3 Nonsense Chemicals? Would you like to start doing it? Yeah, let's do it! A new sequel every time you start the game, and you know what? Since you've put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something else. I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Right there. The achievement machine is all fixed. You see? I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're gonna keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. It is 12:30. Bam. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. You starting over again? The final birthday party! Whoa! 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 Hell yeah.
This is the story.
Skip.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could
Stanley
it
decided
mean?
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket.
Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And
This.
indeed it was.
This is a... Oh. New.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
What do you not know what it mean, Nuke? That's because we're starting over, but I have the bucket. Wait.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Why does it sound like
Well,
the guy
this
from
sounds
some FNAF
delightful.
games?
I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
As are we all!
Wait,
As
Stanley,
are we all.
I've just now realized. That bucket you're holding, it's the bucket I've been working on for my sequel.
Huh?
How did you get your hands on it? Isn't this the preview to the sequel? How do you have the bucket already? This makes no sense at all.
No, not really. Doesn't make the
Hold
most
on.
sense.
Did I already show you my ideas for the sequel? I don't remember doing that at all. You're seeing things all out of order.
Or are you not remembering the order of which I've already seen things? Oh,
right.
I'm still out of
All right,
jump.
let's see. It's the jump circle.
I don't have any jumps. I don't have any jumps. I spent all of my jumps.
Giant door. Did you see them already?
I missed
Stanley,
the hole.
None of them are ready yet. I'm still developing them. They're not even close to finished.
I
How
s-
did they look when you saw them? Were they captivating? Were they exciting?
I did love
they
the
fulfill
whole-
on the promise of everything that a sequel to Stanley Parable could possibly be?
Honestly,
Had I figured out
yeah.
How the hell to make a sequel to this game?
Honestly, yeah, I really liked it. It was good. It was. It was really good.
Wait, if you're still carrying the bucket around with you, if the bucket is interesting to you, that means I must have made it correctly. Yes. You carrying the bucket with you everywhere is exactly what I set out to accomplish. The bucket is the exciting and captivating new content that I promised. I did it! I win! I made a sequel to the Stanley Parable! Yes, the sign is correct. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Thank you for taking the bucket everywhere with you, clinging tightly to the bucket, never letting it go. It means I've won. It means I am victorious over the gamers. It is a sweet salve of victory on my soul.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you
problem.
for enjoying the new content. The bucket is the Stanley Parable now. They are one and the same. There is no Stanley Parable without the bucket. I win. 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 I win.
Oh.
All of
But
his co-workers were gone.
But-
what could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
I
a
know
memo.
that the whole concept of the
Finally,
game.
Yes, the bucket. Yes, yes, yes. I love that bucket.
I know the whole concept of the Stanley Parable is endless spiraling in on itself. Oh, the expo hall. Okay. Like endlessly spiraling in on itself is exactly the whole story. It's a never-ending chain of events, and even if there is an end, the end is never the end because it continues to go. It is very similar to the story that I was telling with In Space with Markiplier. I'm not drawing comparisons because obviously they're very different stories, but conceptually it's so cool to see.
and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
Not that disappointing.
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
4!
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable
4! Wow.
Concept,
I could do the bucket, I guess.
The game will sort of...
2 buckets. 2 buckets!
Wait, there are 2 buckets here? How did you get a second bucket? Oh no, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me?
Whoa!
Stanley! Oh, thank God. I didn't lose you, Stanley. The power of 2 buckets was too much. I had to destroy both of them.
Oh.
I know how much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope one day you can forgive me.
Alright, I forgive you. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't exactly in love with the bucket, even though that's what you were really pushing for. I mean, it was kind of an inconvenience to lug it around all that time, and I know a lot of you are probably very disappointed in the fact that I'm not really caring about it. However, you know, to be perfectly honest, it's just...
Go on, try out some of the new features.
Just a bucket. I want to hear Jim again.
Jim.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name, the button says. But no. Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
Jim.
Okay, bye. To be perfectly honest, like, it is a story of, like, looping in on itself, which, you know,
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
Yeah, it would be.
Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
The achievement machine. The achievement machine now works, doesn't it? Yeah, it's like, that's the problem with games that are like super fun and seemingly endless, is that nothing can be really endless, even though this is technically endless.
Now, here's
there is no end because the end is never the end, but...
test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you.
I got it!
As you can see, the machine is not working yet, since... What? Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement?
Yeah.
Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched?
Maybe.
Oh, God. Composure. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
Just breathe. Yeah, it is kind of the thing where the end is never the end. So accepting that the idea of the end not being an end doesn't gel with a lot of people that play these games and trying to get to the end.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Can I get a different balloon? I really wanted the other balloon, but if I pick the one balloon, I have a fear.
I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration.
You're not going to get me the Stepney's one, are you?
I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, Stepniece, it is.
All right, okay. Maybe I could be happy now. And of course, my favorite.
Maybe I should have gone with... No. No.
Let me look at, let me go get the collectible and then I'm gonna go to the hole. Oh, no. No. All right, well, never mind then. I've been there already. You're right, I have. And now there's only one thing left to do. Wait, what's it there? Right, what the hell is the settings world champion? I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are! But now my favorite. The best feature in this game that never actually saw its way into the sequel. The infinite hole! Maybe I just didn't find it.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. Whee! A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful?
It is.
One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. To warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Okay.
Great. Now, oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you.
There's no problem here.
Is that you like holes too much.
I love holes.
A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh, had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point.
Whip, I'm owning.
How is this still appealing to you?
I bet that if you have a jump left, maybe you could jump out of the hole, but maybe not. It is a circle. It could be the jump circle.
You sure? Take care, Stanley.
Take care, narrator.
Have a wonderful rest of eternity.
I think we will. And I just wanted to say this has been a fantastic experience. It is so cool to see it after all this time and with a fresh set of content to consume within it and how it all delightfully ties back into itself. It really is a worthy successor, and I think it's so fascinating just to see the game build off of itself in this creative way. And to be perfectly honest, it really did touch on the concepts of infinity that I really love. Like, it is weird how topical this is to what I have been thinking about with my show and like what I've been making lately, and like the concepts of things ending and moving on. And it's like, I don't necessarily agree with the settings being or whatever that is. It's not that you don't have to honor the legacy, but yes, I also agree that you do have to move on. You have to move on from things. You have to be unafraid to let go. But that doesn't mean that you can't cherish the past. Both the narrator and the settings, text, whatever, they're both right. The memory lane thing is important, but you can't get stuck in memories, right? You can't get stuck in things like that. It is what it is, and Stanley is as Stanley is. I think this game is truly fascinating. It is a tremendous experience. One that you absolutely should play for yourself. It's just so fun. I think they did a great job. The developer of this, the narrator coming back, all of it like playing on nostalgia, but not lying within it, and the message inside of it of moving on, but also holding on too long and not listening to other people when it comes to you making your thing, your vision, your art, or whatever it is. It's just like so many core messages in this experience that I not only recognize, but I see within myself. And I think that is just a fantastic thing to see. Super cool from start to finish. But thank you everybody so much for watching. If you want to go back and see my playthrough of the original Stanley Parable, go for it. But more than that, I recommend that you get this game and you play through the original experience of the Stanley Parable if you've never had a chance to play for yourself. It is worth it. It is super fun. It is an incredible game. Really, I can't say too many things are quite like this game. So thank you everybody so much for watching. And I have been talking a lot about In Space with Markiplier, so if you have not seen that yet, please go watch it. I worked very hard on that, and I think you'll enjoy it if you enjoyed this. There are quite a few parallels, which I think is pretty cool. Thank you. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!